Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. From verse 40 to verse 52, these verses are actually instructions to the Bani Israel. And the Bani Israel are those people who are on the journey, who have realized or aware of his situation, and then he has the intention. He formulated his own intention to be on the journey, on the journey of knowing himself, knowing the nature of himself, so that he will know God. In earlier verse, Allah has stipulated that He made Adam actually as a Khalifah, as his acting on his behalf. That's the meaning of Khalifah. So some people just call it successor to Allah. So that means whatever he does and whatever things he says, whatever ideas he has, whatever planning he wants to do, it will be based on his role as a Khalifa. That should be the way in this living in this world. And then the nature of himself now becomes a Khalifa. But that has been polluted. That nature of the self has been, the purity of the Khalifa has been polluted by the attractions. That's what the verse said. There are other attractions. When Malaikat said to Allah, are you going to have this Khalifa? Even though you have a lot of attraction, that it will attract him to be away from the truth. So there will be attractions. So because of so many attractions, so the Khalifa will polluted. So then Allah said He will give a proposition, a word to those who want to change, who want to transform. That means He will give guidance to those who want to transform. Basically, the Bani Israel are those people who are on the journey to get this guidance from Allah so that he can get back to his original position, his true self, or being a Khalifa in this world. Okay, so that's basically the background of the theme of the verses. So now we missed out 41. So 31 is one of the instructions to Bani Israel that we missed out. So we read 41. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa aminu bima anzaltu musaddiqan lima ma'akum wa la takunu awwala kafiri bihi wa la tashtaru bi ayati samanan qalilan wa iyya yafattaqun. And aminu, trust with what I've revealed. The instruction is you trust what Allah has revealed. Musaddiqa, to the one who, mu indicate the person, Sadiq indicate truth. So the person who is only holding the truth or conforming with the truth. So Musaddiqa, so trust with what he has revealed. Musaddiqa, conforming to what is with you. That means inherently the truth is with you. You are equipped with the truth. So when Allah reveals the truth, it will conform to the truth that you already have, conforming to what is with you. And do not be the first to ignore kafir, hide, bury with it. And do not trade with my ayat, signs, a small little value. Do not ask for wages or price. Basically, what we're saying is this knowledge is not ours. So basically, it belongs to Allah. So when Allah reveals to you, you become a messenger. Yeah? You just forward the message. Whoever want to know the message. We do not take wages. Let's look at 41. Instructions to the Bani Israel. Number 1, trust what He has revealed, that conform to what you have. Number 2, you do not ignore. You trust and you do not ignore, and do not hide or do not bury, and then do not trade His ayat, His signs for a small price. And fatakun, be cautious, careful. And then we go on further. 46. Allazina yazunnuna annahum mulaqu rabbihim wa annahum ilayhi raji'un. We bear in mind zunnun. Zunnun means certainty to meet their Rabb. That means those people who have certainty in them, not only knowledge. Knowledge is academic, but you're talking about yakin. So the status is yakin. He yakin he will meet his Rabb, and they are the one in the raji'un state of returning to him. So because he has certainty in him, in his mind, that he will return to Allah, return to his Rabb, then his day-to-day living is always in the state of returning to God. When a person is in that state of returning to Allah in his day-to-day life, that means whatever he say, whatever he's thinking, whatever come out of him is from that state of mind. How pure it is. So state of returning to him. 247. Just like when we read 240, 240 is also about the same. Ya Bani Israel, laskuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaikum wa anni faddaltukum alal alamin. O children of Israel, be mindful of my ni'mat. Same with 40. 40 also say laskuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaikum. Be mindful of my ni'mat bestowed upon you, and that I preferred you over alamin. So here Allah said, I prefer you over alamin. Prefer who? Allah prefer those who are on the journey, who take that challenge to be on the journey. Over alamin. Over alamin, no, that means over everything else. Because alamin comprised of what we know and what we don't know, the known and the unknown, everything. So everything from Allah's perspective is everything, but from our perspective, it is all the known and all the unknown. So Allah said, He prefer those who take up this journey over alamin, over everything else. Okay. And then 48. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا لَا تَجْزِي نَفْسٌ عَنْ نَفْسٍ شَيْئًا وَلَا يُقْبَلُ مِنْهَا شَفَاعَةٌ وَلَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْهَا عَدْلٌ وَلَا هُمْ يُنْصَرُونَ. Be mindful of a moment when a soul shall not avail another in the least, neither an intercession on its behalf be accepted, nor shall any compensation be taken from it, nor shall they be helped. Everything about transformation or everything about akhirah. Akhirah means you want to end the ending of your soul, the ending of your separate self. Everything is you alone. It is a self effort. Nobody can help you. Nobody can help you. No interception. Dia kata no syafa'ah lah. Syafa'at is intervene lah, no intervention lah. No intervention, no syafa'at, no compensation yang can help you, and nobody else. Let's look at what happened in our day-to-day life today. There's a lot of belief that Prophet Muhammad syafa'at, people asking Muhammad syafa'at to help them in akhirah. Syafa'at Nabi dia panggil, syafa'at Nabi. And then the other thing that we have today is anak yang soleh. Anak yang soleh can help the parent out of difficulty. No other soul, anak yang soleh, you will help the parent out of difficulty. These are the two things yang come to my mind. So in this verse 248, be mindful of a moment, because the effort of the process or the effort to transform or to know yourself and to know Allah is a self effort. Nobody else can help you. That means you have to do it all by yourself. Allah equip you with fu'ad, with basar, and with sami'un. Allah equip you with these three faculties, and you're supposed to use it. You're supposed to use it yourself and change. The other people are assisting in a way by giving you like spotlight. For example, you are in darkness. Some people we are in darkness. When we are in darkness, we don't know. We cannot go forward. We cannot go back. We cannot go to the front or to the left because total darkness. The alim basically they are a person like they have spotlight. They only shower you with spotlight, and then you have the light. Then you can see where to go. So when you can see where to go, it is you will have to take the first step. You have to take the step to go into that direction. Nobody can help you to take the step. They can only give you the light so that you can see. So that's why at the end of the day, if you do not take the step, then it is you yourself to blame. So you don't want to take the step. You still want to take the step going to other direction. So that is 48. 49. وَإِذْ نَجَّيْنَاكُمْ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ. So now the story of Fir'aun comes in. يَسُومُونَكُمْ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَكُمْ وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَاءٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ عَظِيمٌ. And when we save you from Ahli Fir'aun with negative thoughts of fear, arrogance and pride, who subjected you to severe torment, slaughtering your abna and keeping your nisa alive, and that was a great trial from your rock. Traditionally, these words, Fir'aun, Abna, Nisa, these are the three things. Traditionally, Fir'aun is a story in Egypt. Okay, the king in Egypt who corrupt, the mind so corrupt, and then that he claimed that he himself is God. Okay, that is the kind of person he is. And then he oppress the people by killing the sons. Remember that he killed the son because he doesn't want, because he got in a dream that there'll be a man that will overthrow him. So he killed the sons that were born during that time. And then the other one is Nisa. Nisa is understood by saying that it is Nisa as woman. That is a looking outward perspective. That's how people look at it. But if you look inward, then Fir'aun is the mindset, a person who has authority. If you have authority, so today you have many titles as authority. You have the Prime Minister, you have a CEO. So these are all positions with authority. So we're talking about a person having that kind of authority, but the mindset is oppressing people. Okay, those people who have authority and oppress people, just like Fir'aun, that they look at outwardly. The only problem is when you look outwardly, you become another person. It's not you. So now, if you look inwardly, then you look at yourself whether you are Fir'aun or not. The other one, like I said earlier, was Abna. Abna was mainly translated as sons. Those who associate with Fir'aun, severe torment and slaughtering your Abna. Slaughtering your Abna. So they say slaughtering your son. But if you look inward, you see the word Abna comes from the same root word as Bina. So the word Bina in Arabic is the same as in Malay. Bina, construct. So you construct a structure. So when we say Abna, so we're talking about a structure, the construction of the truth. So for example, we come to certain truth. So it is a structure because it comes from from this angle, understanding this angle. You can see from all the study that we have made over so many years, so we have certain structure in our belief. The truth, how it is structured, how our living today in this world is structured. So that structure is oppressed, is taken down. It's taken down by Fir'aun. The structure of truth, whatever he has been, that is Abna. And then Nisa. Nisa is, here I said urges. The urge to have knowledge. There's some drive at the back of our mind. Come a drive. So that drive too. Traditionally or conventionally, it is translated as woman. For example, if you go to a university, majority memang women lah yang who have that drive drive to study. Those who have the mindset that he has urge to study is called Nisa. So it doesn't matter whether they're man or the woman. And the other one is, there is also another group that those people who like to go out and look at nature, look at the mountain, climb the mountain to get knowledge. It's more like that, not the studious type. So that one is called Rijal. So there are the two types. two types of seeking knowledge. One is Rijal, the other one is Nisa. So Rijal, in the traditional translation, is men. Rijal is men, Nisa is woman. But actually, it's the nature of how we want to seek knowledge, outwardly or inwardly. So in this verse 49, Allah said, and when we save you from those, that means he's not talking about Fir'aun, but he's talking about those people around Fir'aun, those people who are associated with Fir'aun. So, because that's what happened, there are so many people associated around Fir'aun that take advantage of the situation. They throw names. So Allah save us from that. In other words, if you are in that situation, for example, if you're working in a company, very aggressive company, working in that company, the pressure that you get around from the bosses and around you, even from colleagues or from your peers, can be considered that they are also associate themselves with Quran. Because if you get oppression from them. For example, your spare time, your holiday, you're supposed to spend time with your family. But because the pressure is so great in the company, the expectation is very high. So even your holiday, when you're gonna give up, you have to work. And that kind of environment, that one can also be those associate. Those people yang on the journey to seek to know themselves and to get the knowledge. Allah said Allah save them from this group. Allah will save them. If you are really sincere, you want to be on that journey as Bani Israel, Allah will save you from this group. So that your urges for knowledge too will be alive. But tidak, your urges for knowledge will be dead because you have to spend your time on other matters. And keeping your Nisa alive. And that was a great trial from your Rabb. 50. وَإِذْ فَرَقْنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرَ فَأَنْجَيْنَاكُمْ وَأَغْرَقْنَا آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ وَأَنْتُمْ تَنْظُرُونَ. And when we parted Al-Bahra, the sea of knowledge, that is conditioned by Amarah and Mazmumah, with you and save you and drown the Ahli, those who associate with Fir'aun mindset, having spiritual complex dictator, with negative thoughts of fear, arrogance and pride, while you were looking on. So conventionally, these 250 people narrate it as Musa and his people come to the sea. They were trapped by the sea because behind Fir'aun and his people, his army chasing this Musa and his people. So they are trapped. The story goes that Allah gave command to Musa to strike the sea with his staff, and the sea was split into two, giving them the path to cross to the other part of the sea. So they cross. When they come to the other side, they look, and then the whole sea come back to normal, and the army of Fir'aun and his army all drowned. So that's how Fir'aun died. So that is the story, yeah. But from our perspective, inwardly, we say, if you are sincere that you are on the journey, Allah will part the sea of knowledge. The sea of knowledge, that means knowledge, when you look at the knowledge, there is such thing as unwanted knowledge and the wanted knowledge. Yeah. As far as the objective is concerned, is to know oneself. To know oneself. In order for you to know yourself, you have to purify yourself. You have to purify your heart. So that's where the things that you have to do that to purify yourself. The jihad, the sacrifice, the hijab. So these are the things you have to do. So in fact, the Quran is full of those activities that you have to do in order for you to purify yourself. In fact, the rest of the surah is more on that. But the main thing is to purify yourself, actually to know yourself. So that you know yourself, so that you become near to God and you know God. So that is the path of Bani Israel. So in order for you to do that, Allah part the knowledge into what is the necessary or wanted and unwanted. That means Allah parted the sea of knowledge. So that means Allah will shift away, will throw away those unwanted knowledge, only align you to the knowledge that is needed for you to reach the destination. That's what I mean. So the one related to mazmumah, to amarah, they are all parted away. So Allah parted that sea of knowledge and save you, and then drown those people who are dominant in that, who associate themselves with Fir'aun activity. So Allah will drown them. If those people who are interested in the knowledge that is the unwanted one, then Allah will drown them in that knowledge. So they will not be able to come back to the path. So the mindset of Fir'aun is the mindset of superiority complex, dictator with negative thoughts, while you are looking on. So that means if you are in this position, you will be able to see who are those people yang drowned in those knowledge yang unnecessary knowledge, unwanted knowledge. So there are activities that waste your time and waste your energy. So that's the one you don't want to get involved. You have to be able to see which are the knowledge that will take you to the destination. Because you don't have much time. Time is running out, especially if we are in the 60s and 50s, 60s. Kalau age 20, maybe boleh lah you spend more time. Sometimes not more time, but sometimes in other things. Kalau age 20, 30 lah. Tapi at the age of 60, you don't have time. You have to focus on the necessary knowledge. 51. وَأَتْنَا مُوسَى 40 لَيْلَةً ثُمَّ اتَّخَذْتُمُ الْإِجْلَ ظَالِمُونَ. And when we promise 40 withheld in laylatan, absence in darkness. Ni 40 wa'ad is covenant, promise. Musa, we Musa 40. Actually, a lot of people translate the word 40 is 40. 40, arba'a, 40. And then laylatan is night lah. So the conventional story is Allah gave a command to Musa to go to Mount Sinai to meditate at 40 nights. Summa, and when we promised Arba'ina, and we held in Laylatan, absence in darkness, with Musa, he who has strong values in humanity, then you accept to be ijla, hasty from after it, and you were zalimun, unjust. So 40 nights. 40 nights it's a trial. For those people, the story goes like this. Musa went away 40 nights. This is traditional story. Musa went away 40 nights. And then supposed to meet God in his meditation. So went away 40 nights. So when he went away, his people was left behind. So his people was left behind, and it is said that his people started to make the calf from gold and then worship them. So the same thing internally, when we look at ourselves, there are instant moments that our strong values go away, so we are left with in darkness. We are left in darkness. And then the problem is, when you are in darkness, you become hasty. That is the word ijla. Ijla, somehow the traditionally people translate ijla as the cup, the golden cup. But actually, basically, ijla means hasty. So when you don't get that guidance from Musa punya mentality, you become very hasty in your decision making. To form opinion, to make judgment. You become hasty, and when you become hasty, you become zalimun, unjust. And in 52, Summa fawna ankum min ba'di zalika la'allakum tashkurun. Then after that, we forgave you, so that you might be grateful. So it's a mistake when you don't get the guidance from Musa mentality, you tend to be hasty in your judgment, and then when you hasty, you become unjust. When you become unjust, you make mistake, you offend people. But Allah said, He will forgive you. He will forgive you, and then so that you will be grateful. That means you don't lose hope. You don't lose hope, you return back to the state of mind. If you make mistake, whenever you make mistake, you will tend to make mistake. You say it's because it's a process and you are in a journey. So you don't lose hope. Allah will forgive you, and so that you might be grateful. From 53 onward to 53 to 103. 53 to 103 is basically telling us all the mistakes that Bani Israel will commit in the process of his journey, and Allah will teach us how to recover from that mistake. Showing us the mistakes of Bani Israel and how to recover from the mistake. So kita stop kat sini. Is there any question? Okay, kalau tak ada, kita sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.